Bet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
All right, hello and welcome back here to the Chongqing Invitational.
You got it right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Nice,
there we
nice.
go. There we go. My name is Risk. Of course, the tournament is brought to you by StarLadder and ImbaTV, and we have a bunch of beautiful sponsors. Of course, we're going to mention them as we go through the program. But we have a game for you finally. We've been waiting for a bit, but it's going to be A.G.O., my favorites to win the tournament, and they're going to be up against B.O.O.T Dreamscape. A team that actually has a Swedish coach, a former Fnatic legend in DSN.
Yeah, it's a shame because, I mean, I'm going to go for a really cringy joke, but it really sums up my thoughts in this game pretty much in a nutshell, which is you've all been waiting so long to watch this game, but it's just not safe for Twitch at all. This is going to be something else entirely. Like, I will be shocked if Boot get more than 4 rounds.
Yeah, probably. Also like, because we saw how good A.G.O. were when they played in WSG, so it's kind of like... And Boot were falling apart by the seams every single time. Oh, we have the Chinese host back.
There are all these different things. Like, Boot are going to get the boot. Like, you could really just come up with all these different cringy, like, terrible jokes about what's going to happen to them. But none of them are positive in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that is positive is, hey, they get to walk on the stage and look badass.
Look badass, indeed. Of course, both Boot and A.G.O. flew directly from WSG to from Haiku to Chongqing, and then they're competing here from one stage to another. I imagine that must be very nice for some of the A.G.O. players who are kind of like, this is their first international real trip, and they're going straight from one tournament to another.
A taste for like what's kind of
and also they're not going to be affected by jet lag. That's the most important thing.
That's true, but of course you can see a bit of a team profile here. Yep, there we go.
I love the fact that they're sponsored by Hummel, which is a Danish clothing brand. I didn't know it was big in any other countries than Denmark, so that's kind of cool.
It's not, I've never heard of it before, but
no.
Is it like is it like Nike or like Adidas?
Yeah, it's basically the same, just way smaller.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But I didn't know it was big in Poland.
I actually liked it, cool. Like the whole like sort of apparel look though. It's good.
Yeah, it's the striped things or the triangle things on the arm. That's like their kind of like trademark thing.
It's also worth noting that they do believe they can win this event.
Oh yeah.
They said like in the little kind of introduction there. Just read the subtitles. It looks like they are pretty damn confident.
Oh, they should be. They should be. There's no way that they should go. Like, they should go into this event saying, this is our event. We need to dominate. Kind of like Fnatic went into WSG when the second that SK Gaming got knocked out. Like, that should be their event. And then they went ahead and won.
What happens when Brazil gets grouped? You know, it must be unfortunate for SK not being the best Brazilian team at the tournament.
I have those exact shorts
Do you?
that they're all wearing. That's so weird to see. It's kind of like the go-to.
You have the polo too?
No, I don't have the polo. Sadly.
See, that's what you're missing out on.
Yeah, I need that. They need to hook me up.
I like the little axe as well. Isn't that like a deodorant brand or something?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
Axe?
Yeah.
Like that.
It's actually funny because those are two like non-endemic sponsors.
But that's pretty good for them though. Like, it's also pretty good for esports. Obviously, we do have the B.O.O.T Dreamscape lineup right now.
Those are some baller glasses.
But those are some shiny lips.
Yeah, boy. Tommy, of course, with the best nickname of all time.
It's kind of like the co-player Tommy for Fnatic.
That's actually true.
I
don't follow that scene that much, but actually that name is something I've heard before.
Some interesting stories of what that guy gets up to at some of the lands he goes to. Let's just say he's a fan of the casino.
Fan of the casino. We're gonna leave it at that. don't want to throw him under the bus too much. But yeah,
I mean, we all are, right?
Interesting lineup, of course. We have to discuss the fact that Moxie, after getting dropped out of WSG, Moxie said, "I'm gonna leave this team." left the whole team in like disarray. They're apparently going to split up after these 2 tournaments. So this is going to be a hard time for them, but also interesting enough, a time where they all can like showcase themselves to the rest of the world, because this is their selling point.
It's the golden effect, right?
Yeah. So hopefully they're going to show some strong individual plays.
But playing individually is not going to win you a game against AGO.
No. Also because individually, I feel like every single player on the AGO team outclasses them. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bleak, isn't it, really? Obviously, to talk through the AGO lineup, you got Furlan, Snatchy. I think those 2 names kind of scream at me.
Yeah. My favorite is still Tuao. He's just like, I feel like he's such an underrated player as well, because obviously the main name in this lineup is Snatchy, and then you go to Furlan and Grubby for the experience. But I feel like Tuao can be that difference maker who can be the 3rd guy to step up when the team really needs it. Kind of like, let's say, not really Rain, but more like that. Yeah, actually, maybe Rain, you would probably put him as the 2nd star of FaZe, but be that guy that they don't need every game, but when they really need him, he can step up and really make the difference.
Interesting you put him as the 2nd star.
Yeah. That's how I see FaZe. Nico, of course, as star number 1, and then him and Olaf Meister are kind of sharing 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's interesting you say sharing. That was the distinction I was looking for.
Yeah,
kind of know like how you rank that.
Yeah, because I feel like Olaf Meister has been coming back strong.
Yeah, he's playing some of
the
the
6 months.
strongest CS he's played in a long time, and hoping to reclaim that sort of all-time.
Yeah, because 4 months ago, I would have said Rain 2nd star, Olaf Meister 3rd star. But now I'm kind of like,
here's the question: mull this over while this pistol round takes place. Who's the greatest Counter-Strike player of all time?
Of all time.
Of all time. Who is the greatest of all time in CS:GO?
That's a big question. I'm gonna answer that when this round is over. I need some time.
What I want you to do. Mull it over. Take some time to really think it through. And we'll see some smokes landing in the initial area of Ivy right now. That's where we are going to be heading. Just bursting through with a simple flash. Left completely blind, though. It is going to be Furlan, who spams on our way. Grubby to find 2 as well. Boot being dropped there. This is just being made to look easy right now by the CT side. Benkai going to sneak in 1, but so we're just going to shut them down. Simple as that.
It didn't give me enough time to think.
Any start? Anywhere?
I'm having a really tough time, because I feel like you have to pick someone who has either a history in 1.6 or a source, and then they have dominated an era or close to an era in Go. And the only one I'm kind of coming real close to who has that, who I think is still on top today, is Carrigan. But Carrigan doesn't feel like a name that you would say the best player of all time, though.
Yeah.
But if you look at him statistically, like the way that he, in the different teams he played in Mousesports in 1.6, in Fnatic in 1.6, and then his whole history through Astralis, and then with FaZe, I feel like he could be up there, definitely.
Oh, definitely one to, for us to continue discussing as the weekend progresses. Obviously, here we did see a bit of damage done by some pistols. Snatchy then is going to begin to mow through them, as he does find himself 4, looking for a plentiful 5th, but it is going to be Moxie to at least sneak in a couple back with the Deagle, making it a little bit exciting. Obviously, it is a 1v2, so never impossible, just highly unlikely.
If I weren't going to say Carrigan, I would probably say Forest or Get Right.
Yeah, I feel like Get Right is definitely one for me as well. Would you not consider Olaf Meister?
He is not. He has not had.
Not had Go, I think, right? I think that's going to be the issue.
Yeah,
within that.
The problem is, like, I think you have to have been dominant in 2 games. You can, of course, dominate CS 1.6 Source and Go, but CS 1.6 or Source and then Go, you have to have
that additional Go context, I think.
And then you could also put in a player like Shox, for example, because he was the best player in CS Source and has also dominated an era in CSGO, as we do see this pistol round just playing out here. Not really too much to say about it. That's just going to get gunned down.
Potential for some damage to be done, though, and these rifles to be dropped. So at least there's a bit of narrative here that AGO aren't able to build up their money as much as they should be able to. Still, for the most part, kind of cleaning it up. But it's those 2 kills claimed by the pistols. Yeah. We talked about those 2 kills a fair bit in the last game.
PHR also not picking up a weapon in this round means that he'll have to buy himself. That's a very interesting thing to point out as well. So money, as you said, isn't perfect, but they have enough for a double up setup. They have 3 kits. Everyone has full utility.
Super early for that double up setup, though.
Yep.
Very, very early. First buy met with double ult. Ooh,
and interestingly enough, the way that Dreamscape played this one, they're going to have the full buy here in the first. That means that they have a lot of Molotovs as well. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to play those against the AWPs. They even have some money to spare. That means if they lose this, they're going to have utility. And this is what I was talking about. Using the Molotovs to block out this double up setup, even though they didn't even know that they were up against the double up setup.
Of course you repeat there, of course. Balls of absolute steel. Incredible. Oh, don't give him a second peek. Please don't give him a second peek. There we go.
Taking that off.
Denied that second chance to slip around the corner, and the fact he nearly got away with that is something else entirely.
That's criminal. Like,
really shouldn't even be getting close to that. But either way, the round takes a bit of a moment. It breaks down.
They're so afraid of that upper peak.
Oh yeah.
That Splasher actually uses his smoke to kind of block it off for now.
Direct shot as well, making it known they've picked up an orb. That's a significant bit of information to hand over.
So now, Impression is rotating back with the bomb. Ben-K has made his way outside. Let's see if he gets a free one. He does. And that should be the call to go for split outside. Ben-K is going to take position. Grubby to battle him in a few seconds. Bomb is still holding back for now. It's 4v2, and once again, using these Molotovs on the side, on the connector. That's exactly how you're going to play it. And perfect round so far.
Credit where credit is due. We thought AGO... Well, we thought B.O.O.T-d would be a team based on kind of individual skill and basically effectively playing like a mix, but no, they're bringing that team play to the table. The utility in this round, the structure of their first big buy has actually been definitely on the ball. Yeah, they have some history to pull back on because they have been playing with this lineup for some time now, so they definitely have some setups, they have some executes that it was just a question of whether they would use them or not. Yeah, right? Exactly, like, because that's kind of like the argument you can make in this point. If the team is splitting up, you want to make a good selling point for yourself, so you want to be the one on top of the scoreboard. But they're playing like a team right now. I can really respect that. That's a nice gesture. It's not easy, when you know your team is falling apart. We discussed this heavily over our Chinese trip, obviously because of Golden. I referred to this matchup as the Golden effect, effectively, because it is that idea of playing at a team that you're not going to be playing in after this event. Yeah, so it's tough. And then Golden, I stay in quotation marks. I stay now. Sums that one up nicely. Yeah, I love that tweet. That was so simple, but yet so telling. It was elegant. He's an elegant man. Oh, he looked so, like, he didn't really show much happiness when he won. That was interesting. No, but he's Swedish. That's, like, if you spend 8 years or 8 months out of a year in total darkness, you're not going to smile. That's why Finnish people never smile. I've only seen Nato smile when he was drunk. That says something. The more you know. The more you know. But when he smiles a lot. I feel like when you know, well, like when you have them smiling, you know something has gone like truly right. Yeah, exactly. And also like, especially people from Finland and also some parts of Sweden, when you kind of unleash that happiness, it's so life confirming. Magical. Yeah, it's so nice because people in Denmark are kind of like always kind of happy all the time. But you don't really see like that extra amount of happiness come out. Well, at least we know what we're looking to achieve from you this weekend then, don't we? Obviously, the B play going to be what we're watching right now too. So, head locked on towards up, but it gets caught out from below. Ferlin at least able to chime in with the AWP as the bomb does go down, creating this equal 4 versus 4 round. Now, you've got to note, AGO are coming in from above. Snatchy does lose his life to Splashkey. That AWP really putting in the work right now, securing a second on towards Ferlin as well. The Molotov, like you say, continuing to push back the CT side, meaning that they're out of the round. They have to save. There's no way they can get close. I mean, it's a good exit pick for Grubby, but there's going to be it. And he's going to lose his life anyway, as Ben-Kai is just in a great position to kind of catch him off. And I think, for me, the credit really here for Ben-Kai is that this is the second round back-to-back now that he's been in the right place at the right time to capitalize on the positioning of AGO. He's been very good at getting into those kind of like middle positions in the map where he can make a difference, not only in his frags, but also in his information. And that's a good kind of role player to have a player that can go in. You can just tell him, okay, go here and just find information and maybe find a frag, find some map control. And he can go and execute that. That's such a nice thing as an in-game leader to have the freedom to just say, yeah, Ben-Kai, just go there, do something. And he does something every single time. Yeah, just go do the thing. Yeah. We actually had, like, way back in the day, one of the other best players in CSOs was a guy named Once, who sadly didn't translate into CSGO. But him and then Fetish, the legendary in-game leader, who also was the in-game leader of the team before they became Astralis back in Dignitas. That duo was exactly like that, because Fetish would just say, Once, just go B. And Once would go B, and he would get 2 entries every single round. And if you have a player like that, it's so easy being in-game because you can just see, yeah, you go B. If he gets 2 kills, we go B. If he doesn't get 2 kills, we just go A. Because then they're going to be rotating, because the second you see him, you just rotate the whole team. Yeah, you just know, right? It's a predictable read. Yeah. It's an interesting dynamic, obviously. For the astute Counter-Strike fans among you guys will know who Fetish is, but for those of you who don't, I mean, legendary really is a bit of an understatement, I think.
Yeah, he's a name to look up if you don't know him.
Yeah, household Counter-Strike name for sure. Wikipedia, your best friend. Check him out. But let's not get lost in the history books. Instead, let's turn the page forward and look at the present and the future. At 3-2 in this game, Asia, they took a pause. They thought things through. Obviously, in this round, it is just an AWP with pistols. So not really the greatest of scenarios for PHR to try and make work, but definitely going to be looking for that impact anyway.
It's an interesting choice playing that AWP towards the outside, not actually in a very defensive position, because usually you want to bring it into the next round. Now he's rotated back into backline, and that's why he has that secondary player with him that can either pick up the AWP if he dies or help him close range. Bomb has been dropped. The rotation is coming in.
Just holding towards the back of trains, trying to pick them from distance, but Tommy is having none of it right now, ripping them down. That's 4 kills. Lock and key, nothing they can do. He is just a raid boss that they are yet to tackle. Moxie to finish things off with a simple AWP shot. Calculated elimination there from Tommy.
That's really nice of him. Just going in there and cleaning up, if you will.
Ooh, that's some money to be made.
Oh yeah. If you want to put cash down for the boot, can go ahead and do that, but I'm with Lootbed here. Like, this should be a win for Ego.
Yeah, it does certainly make sense, but at least it's closer for now, keeping us on our toes. Obviously, these best of ones so far proved to be pretty exciting. I mean, the MVP win in itself was something to.
Okay, Tommy just going in full flash.
I mean, if you get 4 kills like that, you have so much confidence, and this is why he is on fire right now, just tearing up on this A site. B.O.O.T making it look easy.
There was no strategy in that round. Tommy just ran out.
It's just a recap. At the start of the game, we said individual play, proving yourself as an individual, huh? Yeah, nice one, Tommy. I know where you're coming from with that one. Things as well, that's a big round for them to win. They literally just chew through any money that AGO had left and now say, right, yeah, you got these pistols. What made me laugh is if B.O.O.T play like really calculated and like kind of thought out Counter-Strike now against these pistols. That'll be funny because you look at the polar opposites between those two rounds. It's just mad. Oh, no, they just don't care anyway.
Yeah, Benkai just runs out.
Just hold W.
Somewhere in the world, Blair is sitting, clapping in his hands. I know you're watching, man.
Oh, there's a nice nade as well. Just to finish him off. Ah, you just. I mean, what is there to say? Like, AGO are just kind of being run at right now. They got to learn to maybe tap S a bit, full back.
So, 4 kills for Benkei, full round win, all 5 weapons saved. And this is where it becomes really interesting, because now we see 12k on Benkei, 10k on Tommy, 11k on Moxie after buy. That's such a big bank to have, and you can see them. They're smiling right now.
I would you not be laughing after a round,
oh, yeah,
2 rounds, 3 rounds like that? Like, you are going to be reeling off.
Also because you kind of expect a hard game, and then you have like 3 rounds where it feels like it's easy mode, and you don't understand why, but you're just happy that it's happening. Double up setup though. This might be where it gets really hard. Let's see if they can get it done. Instant pre-flash on Ivy. Smoke goes down from CT. Flash to force Furlan back, but they're not taking control just yet. Ideally, they want to have an AWP over the smoke and look over, and that's probably going to be the play. Moxie just trying to bait out shots to find out where the CT is. And it's going to be a fallback from the AGO player. Lining up smokes. Splash-K has a perfect idea of what's going on behind this box. Flashbang goes out, but he doesn't rotate from it. Molotov, and that he has to die now. Furlan gets a frag from that. That is... yeah, that's not good. I was about to say a bad word, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fight too, to be honest. Like,
no, you have to win that without losing a player. You know where he is, you put a Molotov down, you have 2 players looking at the exact position. There should be no way, a snowball's chance in hell, that he gets anything out of that.
There you have it.
I'm not impressed.
I mean, there's nothing really more to add to that. That is a statement that speaks for this round as a whole. Obviously, 35 seconds now coming up on the clock, and we are still in a 3v3 here. And to me, the concern is it's 2 ups in play.
I feel like if Grubby gets this frag onto Splash-K, they should just save on the T side. I know they have a lot of money, but You have to think about the long game here.
Snatchy, and sort of take down Moxie as well. The smoke does come through. A lot of noise being made. Grubby is going to go
pushing it.
wandering on through. Finds the backstab. Job done. From there, Tommy going to be taken down after getting the initial kill. Means that it will still be AGO being victorious and finding their fourth.
Yeah, we were talking about Dreamscape maybe being able to getting four rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. They're already on 5. So
yeah, I'm already pleasantly surprised.
They have exceeded my expectations already.
That says a lot, though, about this game as a whole.
Yeah, it also says a lot about my expectations. And once again, ladies and gentlemen at home, if you want to win, just bet the opposite of what I say, and you'll be good for days. No worries. I should maybe do like a betting guide, and then the rules should just be bet on the opposite of what I say.
I mean, just make life pretty easy at this point. I don't even want to consider discussing what I'm saying on my screen right now, because that is just madness in a new form completely. Dreamscape just rush onto the site, crouch behind the bomb train, then instead of planting, they just sit there crouched, and it's just like sort of this weird...
When Tuao is allowed to walk in with an orb and not be punished, walking in towards the bomb site, when they have control of the bomb site, you know something's up, something's wrong.
Yeah,
and then
something a little weird.
They rotate back without getting the bomb.
Look at the map, though. There is a reason they're being so slow. They're trying to wait for Benkai. But I think, yeah, Grubby's aware.
I think he heard a step or something. Good damage, though. Benkai on 11 HP, still 3v3, but 17 and 11. This should, well, I say should go none other way than A go, but then that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you think it's done, you think you're out for the count, they get up again.
If A go lose this, they're going to be tilted. I guarantee you that.
Alright, they got 2 kits at least. You can get out of dinner. There's no real competition there, but PHR is going to make things a little difficult. Now, spotting them is huge.
The big flank.
No, you've got to land this first shot, though. You can't afford to miss it. If you do miss, just fall back straight away. Sees the foot. Creeping on around.
Bang.
Nicely done. There you go. That's all you got to do. Now you just pull back. Moxie's 17 HP. No need to give him a chance. No need at all.
That's an interesting Molotov. He's just securing his left side, but...
Yeah, I've seen PHR twice there as well on Green Train before them being taken down.
All right, 5-5. Things are tied up. Double up setup still on the CT side. The bank of the T's is slowly being broken down as AGO coming back into the game. You can see them just slowly but surely, very steady in the communication. No one's really hyped about anything. They're just telling each other what the plan is, what to do. 5 Molotovs or incendiary grenades, if you will, on the CT side. I feel like this round is going to be a good picture of how the rest of this half is going to progress. There's only 5 rounds left, and we have a full buy from both teams.
Molly comes deep in towards Pop, but Tommy just going to go running through anyway. Yet to be no refrag. Grubby is shooting through the smoke, but backs away. Meanwhile, Splashkey puts in the work as well. Snatchy, meanwhile, opening up for a double kill, looking for a triple. Does he realize just how close Moxie is? Thankfully, Grubby is filling in the gaps anyway, but Moxie still has a welcome chance to make this exciting. That's how it is going to land the shot, sealing the deal. And ultimately the fate of AGO.
That was so weird.
It was messy is what it is.
In the beginning, no one was ready to refrag the instant kill that came in from B.O.O.T. And then after that, everyone was just ready. And it wasn't even a refrag situation, it was just holding down the push. And they handled the push perfectly. So right now the money for B.O.O.T., or Dreamscape if you will. Alright, this is an interesting choice. I'm just going to go for pistols where 2 of the players could have actually... They could have gone for the double scout setup if they wanted.
I'm liking this aggression from AGO as well. It feels like they found their confidence. Almost found their voice.
Oh, what?
Snatchy, just as I'm saying, that's not the chance for you to be missing. PHR laying down a lot of damage. As it is going to be Furlan.
That's grim.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
All 5 weapons saved, and even Molotovs picked up by Snatchy. So Bang is starting to build on that CT side, but as we know, it's a bit of a slower progress than on the T side. This is the full buy from Dreamscape. Orb on Benkai will be tossed over to Splashk, and we see at least 3 of the players not being able to rebuy in the next round. That means if we're going to see a force buy, it's not going to be a good one. If AGO takes this, they're probably going to take it 10-5, or at least getting 9 rounds. Maybe the last buy will do something.
So the Molly is going to come down to it. Doesn't want to peek into it. PHR, meanwhile, very aggressive angle in towards Pop, and he isn't going to be able to make it work this time around as Moxie makes a lot of noise and position known. You're just kind of rekindling their CT setup here. I think overall as well, their love just for this aggressive A play. Consistently keeping Snatchy close up on top of the train, looking in towards T-Con. Moxie's still gonna stand his ground.
I feel like if you have control over over Ivy and you have a close player in Pop Dog, so they can't really push out a Pop Dog, having that elevated position on the train with an AWP to hold the T connector is so good, because usually when you want to execute outside, you make your way with smokes from T-spawn or around T-spawn that blocks out the different positions. But if you have an AWP, you're above all of that. And you can only do it if you're 100% sure that your teammates are holding the other angles.
Not sure what the deal is with Snatchy's molly, but...
And you see that when his teammate is rotating away from Pop Dog, he's looking at 2 angles at the same time. That could be a problem when he goes in for the first duel.
Yeah, it's going to be just a matter of timing. Smoke's already beginning to fade across the map. Impression. A player to keep a close eye on. They do begin to work out on towards this site. Furlan spotting backwards and forward. They don't check for PHR. Still yet to be slain. Picking off the AWP is a disaster as it creates this 2v2. Snatchy holding back
There's
for the
gap.
bomb.
No.
Jumping up so aggressive. I mean, the round's done at that point.
See, the fun part was that there was a gap in that smoke, and it's so easy for me to sit and say this because I'm not in the middle of the game and I don't have all the adrenaline going. But if he had 2 more seconds to think, he would just sit and hold the gap of the smoke in that position instead of jumping up. Because usually when that smoke lands, there's not a gap in it, and you have to jump up in order to spot. But when there is a gap, you can sit down in relative safety. Oh, there was also the flank coming in from behind, so it's not a
it's very much
waterproof
a hindsight
solution.
sort of.
But yeah, let's see. Smokes outside, pre-flash towards alley. Tommy drops the bomb in A main. And another buy here. Dreamscape trying to tie it up. If they can get 7 rounds on this T side, I'm very impressed.
Snatchy holding ever so patiently now, looking for this first pick. Yet to be given it, but we also aren't seeing much come out from this T side just yet. Flashkey getting very close though to moving forward, and at that point, that's when things get a little bit dicey for this initial sort of AWP on AWP duel. A nice little nade to at least greet Impression as the push does come up for Furlan. Just going to fall back and kind of play that little headshot angle. Swinging out just at the perfect time.
Yeah, there's no smokes left outside, and that's why the rotation is coming in from Grubby. He has just 1 left. Already map control being taken by the terrorists. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. Benkei trying to make his way in there, but he won't. 2v4. Tommy low on HP as well. They should be able to win this one. Ago secure an 8th on the scoreboard. Moxie trying to go for the wide peak and didn't really work out. Flash goes down. And they're just keeping him in a constant state of pressure. He's going to be taken out of his misery. As we reach round number 15 of the first half, 8-6 is going to be the scoreline. And as predicted, the money for Dreamscape is in the dumpster.
Yeah, it's less than ideal, isn't it? I mean, what do you do here? If you've got $2,000 right and you're left in this final round, do you go for the pistol? Do you buy a big pistol like a Deagle or a CZ? Do you go for P250 more utility? What do you favor?
I always favor pistol, especially the CC, because right now it's so overpowered. So CC and utility would always be. I would have 1 player maybe on a scout and 1 player on a Desert Eagle. And that would be the setup. They've decided to go for UMP 45s and kills, and maybe that's why they're on the server and I'm not. Let's figure out.
Yeah, but it's not working out for them. But so little utility getting out is proving to be a tough task. They did have a few smokes, which had minimal gain overall.
And that's the problem with Train. You have to have utility in order to get outside.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's just as simple
even
as that.
flashes are super important on Train.
Yeah.
Because those angles you have to clear are so brutal.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we did see, of course, our odds for the upcoming pistol round provided by our wonderful betting partner, LootBet. It's interesting how the pistols go. Do you have any prediction you want to share? So far, you've been consistently wrong. So
I've been consistent. Let's just put it like that.
Let's see if you can keep that up.
I feel like Ago should take it.
I mean, it is a roll of the dice, but like,
yeah.
it's a pistol, right? Like, it's not really too deep into it, but.
Oh, this is nice. They dropped the P250 over to Furlan, so basically Furlan is a raid boss, like mini raid boss setup, and then flash smoke onto our.
I gotta ask, right? I rate the P250. I've never dug the dualies, and I still don't dig them either.
Dualies just kind of like the Negev. They don't belong in this game at this point. Like, just remove them.
But hey, man, like I think Valve disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, and that's why me and Valve will never get along.
Yeah, gotta make it more competitively viable. The Beam of Death needs a place in esports.
No. It doesn't. Right now, bomb is on the back of Grubby. We'll toss it over, and it'll be a 4v4, but Duali's coming in from the back. This is my worst nightmare, actually. This round is my worst nightmare.
You hate it when the Dualies actually have an impact, but that was a big kill to find.
Any gun would have had an impact in that situation.
Yeah, but, you know.
Even a knife would probably have had an impact. In
got to
that
rub salt on the wound.
I'm just slowly getting more and more salty. A couple of more rounds and you'll just hear the coming out. I'll just be completely exploding. Nah, it's fine. Let's see. Smoke still on Grubby. That means that they can smoke towards the backline if they want an extra coverage. But Furlan opening up with a P250. And that's the raid boss setup I was talking about. If you have that body armor plus a P250, you can actually take good duels against USPSs.
It's the range duels as well, isn't it? And that's
yeah,
really
and that's what they
counts.
need, right? Because that's the one thing that you have an advantage of the CTs in the pistol round is the range advantage. And that's why if you get flashbang smoke and then raid boss P250, you can actually take long range and you have utility.
There you go, Phil. I'm going to finish this one off as well with the P250.
Good stuff.
You actually got a pistol round prediction right.
I'm still 100% consistent in being wrong and right. See, stats doesn't really matter because you can always make stats say what you want.
Yeah.
So in the 2 rounds, I've been 100%.
You know what?
Something.
I've got I don't know why you're a caster. You know what? You should consider running for a presidency.
Well, I have the best words.
What can I say?
All right.
Make Denmark proud.
Twao coming in here with Mag 10. And just like my presidency, he's going to die a quick and fiery death. Called it. That's why I'm not running for president. There we go. Impression with the Desert Eagle, you can just never count that pistol out. Like on the CT side, you can just wait and hold angles with it. Furlan opening up on the back of the bomb site. As Ben Kaido goes down, Snatchy with on the flank. So much map control right now for the terrorist team. They even have nades for connect if they want to throw those in there.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty comfortable at this point. Snatchy just going to get aggressive as well, because, I mean, why not? It's a Mac 10. The objective of that SMG is to make money.
Yes.
So much as well when you get a kill with that. So
yeah,
it's like
he's going to go into connector now. He might die here. Yeah, he will. So now they know where the remaining terrorists are. And they're going to use the nades, as I said. I don't know why that nade doesn't do more damage, but that's just how it is. At this point, Moxie, there's no way, absolutely no way he can win this round.
Well, it's not about the win, though. It's about damage and about potentially a gun.
He's not going to do damage either.
There you go. You look so almost distraught about what you're witnessing.
No, it's fine, actually. Technically, this is a good round for them because they get the bomb down. They bring 3 AKs into the next round. That's going to mean 2 Mac 10s, one on Twao and 1 on Snatchy. And full utility as well. So this should be an easy round for AGO to win. And they're going to get on 12. Double the scoreline of B.O.O.T. or Dreamscape. That name just... They should just decide if they want to be called Dreamscape or B.O.O.T. They can't be called both.
Well, I mean, at least they got something going for them, right? They're keeping to the theme of the game. They're keeping CS:GO fast. You should check out that site, by the way. I hear it's pretty good.
That was a nice plug. That's like a machine-esque level. It's not there yet, but
it's not there yet. Like
you're getting there.
We're practicing. We're practicing. You should tell me about the new Mercedes, by the way.
Getting all that Skrilla. Nice push, actually, from Moxie. Gonna catch Snatchy off guard. He was rotating in just as that push happened from Snatchy. Really nice timing to come in. Sadly, it wasn't an AK. It was just the Mac 10 and no utility on Snatchy either. Twao actually went for an AK full utility, even though they're up against a full eco. He could have gone for a Mac 10, but that didn't follow the strategy, so he just went for the safe buy.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Just going to tick on down. The kills collectively begin to roll in once again for this T side, who are in a very comfortable spot in this game, let's be honest. I mean,
they're comfortable, they are controlling the pace, they're controlling the lead, they're winning the duels. Like, there's nothing going Dreamscape's way. What did they get, like 5 or 6 rounds in the beginning of this game, and then it's been all Ago from since?
I mean, let's whip up the scoreboard if we can. I'm gonna utter those words and pray to the observing gods. They can hook us up with the scoreboard.
What is scoreboard in
what is scoreboard in Ukrainian? That's a good question. Well, I've been lied to. That's tragic. Well, I mean, we tried. I wanted to use the little kind of graph at the bottom that showed you the rounds. I thought that'd be interesting for our viewers at home, but unfortunately, not today is the answer there. Well, we have it on HLTV at least, but I mean, our viewers can't see that. It's like an inside joke. It's just dodgy and unfun.
It's 5 rounds in a row for B.O.O.T, and then they won 1 round after that. So it's been that 5-round streak, basically, after winning the first buy round, and that's been all they've done in this matchup so far. On the CT side, they have not won a round yet.
Yeah, definitely need to solve that. Unfortunately, the double setup here has just been a bit of a... Not really even a bit of it, just has been a waste. It's not got anything done. And
this is what we expected, because it's not about Dreamscape being a bad team. It's about Ago being such a good team. That's how you want to frame it.
I also do think there has to be an element, like... I mean, I'm no pro CS player, that's a given. But there has to be there has to be a long-lasting effect on your team and your ability to play structured, good team CS. Because we have seen holes in their team play, especially in the second half on the CT side, because you're not playing together anymore. Yeah. Like, people are making much looser decisions. They are making more aggressive plays. We've seen people push through smokes with AWPs and stuff. Like, I think we'd be silly to assume that there's no effect there. The question is how much is that having an effect? I don't think that's fair for us to answer ultimately. I think that's something we just have to continue to judge them on as the tournament progresses. But it's something that is definitely a fair topic of conversation.
Oh, for sure. This has to be one of the main talking points about this team here, and also the secondary talking point. Where's Moxie going to go? No one knows.
Where would you like to see him?
I would like to see, instead of having like 4 decent Asian teams, I would like to see the 2 best Asian teams.
Yeah, kind of like
just have all the best players on 2 teams, and then have 2 secondary teams who would have like the core of the teams that we have now, and then with 2 new rising stars in each team.
There's a lot of regions that have that problem though, where they have a lot of okay teams. Yeah. When they could just have one like competitively really strong team. I mean, even looking at the UK scene, for example, we have some great players, but unfortunately not banding together to make the best possible team.
Yeah, isn't that the general UK problem though, that everyone's mad at each other and they'll never be able to build an actual team because there'll always be like animosity between the players?
It's just frustration, ego, a variety of factors, but it's not just the UK. They're a good example. The example I know best being British, but it's something that is not a localized issue. It happens to nation upon nation upon nation, especially developing nations, which is why it links into this conversation of Asian CS, because it's affecting obviously the overall Asian scene here as well. Yeah.
All right. This could potentially be the round that decides the game. If Ago get this one, that means that B.O.O.T will be on an eco, a full loss bonus eco, yes, but an eco nonetheless. Double up setup. If they can make it work now, they are not going to be able to make it work.
That's my instant concern, right? They've not shown me anything with this double up setup so far that's been a success. They've been met with molly after molly after molly. At least Flashkey uses the smoke to deny the molly towards B upper, but no one's going to peek it anyway. Snatchy is just going to get nice and aggressive. Simple pick on towards Tommy because
no one's holding electric.
Rush out through pop. I mean, look at the domination of Asia. I mean, this game is done. There is no coming back from this.
Moxie trying to show some star power in the dying moments of this game.
It's actually pretty ballsy of Snatchy to even stand there. Yeah. That's a very
he knows Moxie's backline, and the second he throws that, the second you see that Molotov going in, you can technically pre-fire the spot. Let's see, Splash K will get the bomb planner, but it still goes down. 3v3 retake. And this is where I was going to make this point, but there wasn't really time when the round started. There's no kit on the CT side right now because they invested all their money into getting this double upset. As Flash Kit doesn't even have armor or any utility. No kit on anyone.
That Molly's going to seal the round then.
Yep.
You can send Benkai over, sure, but just to find that opportunity, which he does. PHR though, just wait. There you go.
Don't repeat. Don't repeat.
Just repeat anyway.
Okay, he uses that smoke from the CT because now it's a safe repeat. And Moxie's already saving. That is an unfortunate smoke grenade, because I understand the strategy. Smoxy gets the last kill. The strategy is, okay, throw down the smoke, defuse in the smoke. But the second he throws down that smoke and he hears the sound, it's just an instant repeat, but because then he knows the smoke is going to cover the secondary angle for the retaking CT. Very nicely played. You have to give it to A.G.O. They're just dominating right now. They're playing perfectly.
Yeah, really not much more to add to that. I think B.O.O.T showed some very early promise, but overall it's unable to really perform to the level that we were hoping to see. I think 6 rounds are still more than I expected, like I said. I mean, yeah, didn't have super high expectations, but hey, got to start somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully this is the start. Hopefully they only evolve from here on out in the tournament. I say hopefully, because it's definitely not a given.
AGO just going to take a swift meander down on towards B. Benkai looking for a headshot. Bit of damage does come through. Molly's to come out as well. Furlan finding one though so far, so good. So AO going to be pushing down those back trains. Scrooby secures impression. Molly as well to set ablaze as Furlan cracks open Tommy's head just like a hell case. Is then doing a second kill on towards Splash Key, leaving Moxie to be dead to rights. 16-6, your final scoreline in this map.
As one would expect, it will be A.G.O. the favorites to win this tournament, coming out really nicely off that first game. No scares apart from the initial 5 rounds coming in from B.O.O.T, and that was kind of it. They dealt with it. We saw Furlan on 23, Snatchy on 22, the rest of the team following up. And a victory for the Polish side in the stylish shorts.
I love this like hype winning music. We had this in China as well. It's really cool. It's nice little. It's very generic EDM, but it's got like a nice little beat to it.
I'm still waiting for the day that a tournament uses like heavy metal, rock, or hip hop.
That's true.
Because it all sounds very, very EDM-y, all of it. But
everyone loves EDM. Esports is EDM.
It's a general like it's very easy to fit into a ceremony like that or a victory like that. So I get the point. I would like some Wu-Tang samples being thrown out when a team walks in on stage.
Providing they're nothing that we found before. I mean, some of those beats we found during our break. I mean, you did. Have you uploaded it yet? By the way, to Instagram?
I haven't. I wasn't very satisfied with it.
Okay, I mean, we got to have a double take. There was some freestyle rapping that had happened during the break, and I'll tell you, it was interesting, to say the least. But you got to get that up on your Instagram.
I'll try.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'll try.
Nonetheless, folks, if you want to join us for our next map up, I actually don't know what our next match is, because I know Dustin is going to be joining us for this one.
It's going to be Spirit versus Flash, so CIS versus China.
That'll actually be a really interesting, mostly Flash in a bit of hot water at the moment.
Yeah. Funny, you're going to see how they're going to have what they're going to do in this tournament, because I haven't seen them since the major.
Well, yeah, I think the other thing as well for Flash, we got some kind of information passed to us about but a lot of rumors being flown around about their roster as I do some weird sort of hand movements. Yeah. Not sure what's going on with
something's going on.
So some shenanigans, some information, who knows what is going to happen. But if you want to find out what happens in our next game between Flash and Spirit, then join us right after this very short break.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.